On July 16, 2015, 4 Marines and 1 sailor lost their lives in the line of duty at the nearby United States Navy Operational Support Center. In the days that followed, Chattanoogans created temporary memorials and held vigils at the Tennessee River Park. A suspended wreath marks a site made sacred by sacrifice and by the community's acts of kindness, support, and strength in response to this tragedy.
Hello and good evening. Heather and I tonight are at the Tennessee River Park, and we're in an area that we don't go to that often. This is kind of the main area of the Tennessee River Park. Right behind us is the Navy Reserve area, which a tragedy happened nearly 5 years ago. By the time you see this video, it'll probably be over 5 years ago. And let's see if I can show you behind me here in just a second when this car goes by. Right over there, behind me now is the boat ramp in the Tennessee River. And there is a memorial that they built that's really beautiful. And it's only been completed for a year or so. And we're gonna go see this memorial to the horrible shooting that happened here in the summer of 2015. Heather's idea, she wanted to try to make a shot of it. She's just added to her arsenal. She's owned the Tamron 18 to 400 for a while, and now she's added the 10 to 24. Both of those are specifically designed for APS-C sensor cameras. And so she's got that with her tonight, in addition to the 18 to 400. And I believe she's carrying the D7100. And I'm carrying the Nikon Z6, and I have the entire Holy Trinity. So we're gonna amble around here to the memorial and see if we can make a photograph that does it justice. And we also just left the boathouse, which is a restaurant just down the road that way. And I had a fantastic steak dinner, and Heather had salmon. So we are not hungry, and there's a pretty good looking sunset happening about right now. So we're gonna get started. So that's the memorial behind us. It's kind of a circular thing with 5 pillars, one for each of the people who was murdered over there. And it's really beautiful. So hopefully we can do it justice. Heather is over at the memorial working on a composition, and I decided to, before I went over there, which is just, the memorial is just on the other side of these Leland cypress here, so I haven't let her go real far away. But I decided to take a picture of this area right here. It's very, there's a lot of big, beautiful trees and the poles coming up from the boat ramp where the dock is, and the sun setting there across the river. And I did a 5-shot auto exposure bracket, which I will try to make something out of to do an HDR, high dynamic range photograph. So we'll see how that goes. And now I'm going to kind of pack everything up and head around and see if I can figure out what Heather's working on. Okay, so here is the 5-shot HDR of the boat ramp and the beautiful sunset in the sky and reflecting on the Tennessee River and the beautiful trees. It's really a beautiful area, and I can't wait till you see Heather's photograph. Okay, I managed to find Heather. She's just down that way, and while I was on the way to her, I stopped right here and made a 5-shot auto exposure bracket. I don't know if we're going to be doing bracketing the rest of the night, but that's definitely the way I'm starting. Looks like Heather's got a great, looks like she's got a great sunset in the background of her shot. Are you at your, are you in the middle of shooting?
Yeah, I've just got to do one more, hold on.
Heather is, she's manually doing her exposure brackets. You got to be careful, honey. If you step backwards, you'll fall into this ditch.
Yeah, I know, I looked.
So Heather's using the, her 10 to 24 Tamron lens,
I'm probably
ultra wide,
12.
and she's making her own bracket. Really nice composition she's chosen right here with the 5 pillars and a good looking sunset right behind her. And oh look, we can look across and see our car in the parking lot as well. So I'm gonna try to get out of her way. If I mess up one of her shots, she will throw me in the ditch. Okay, so Heather was showing me her shots and they look really beautiful. She didn't leave a lot of room above the center pillar, so I suggested that she open that lens up a little bit. She was at like 12 millimeters. So she's gonna do her manual auto exposure bracket again, but this time at 10 millimeters, using the widest she can use on it. So the Wreath of Honor sign is really cool. It's backlit and it's got holes in it where the letters are, so the backlight comes through the holes. And I made an F11 6-second shot of that sign. Heather is still down there working on her composition. And like I say, this whole thing's her idea, so we're gonna let her have her pick of the litter on the composition and I'll take the scraps.
I love this sign. I think it's really beautiful, and the text that I read at the very beginning of this video is written above Wreath of Honor on this sign. That's what I was reading as the video started.
I've got another auto exposure bracket here I'm doing all of my shots so far with the 24-70, and I've got a auto exposure bracket, and I've got the Wreath of Honor sign in the foreground on the right, and I've got the Wreath of Honor itself in the background, and I did a 5-shot HDR auto exposure bracket.
You know, Heather and I didn't talk about, hey, let's do a lot of HDR tonight. We both just figured out that that's kind of what the lighting needed. And this is my best photo of the night. I would say I still don't think it's quite as good as Heather's best photo of the night, but we both ended up with some pretty good photographs, and we hope you enjoy them.
Heather is still working on her original composition, just sticking with it, and it's a really great one. I worry about her pillars being straight up and down, but they have an angle to them on the outside, and the inner part is straight up and down. But this close, I mean, she's probably 10 feet from the nearest pillar with an ultra wide is going to be something. But she's got this brand new to her, I think she bought it used, ultra wide lens, and she is rocking with it and doing manual auto exposure brackets, or manual exposure brackets, I should say. There's no auto in manual. And you know, she's, like I say, she's sticking with this composition. I'm kind of moving around, but she may be on the best composition.
I'm so excited to present to you Heather's photograph from this evening. The whole photo shoot was her idea, the location and every single thing. And she decided to do high dynamic range all by herself. There was no input for me. The only input I gave her was leave a little more space above the center column, and she took that advice well. And look at this beautiful photograph. The columns are leaning in a little bit, but I don't think it hurts the photo at all. They actually look kind of nice leaning in a smidge.
All right, well, I've been doing all sorts of shots, and I got to looking over here, and Heather has meandered up into the woods trying to get a shot. You got the 18-400 on now, honey?
Yeah.
All right, she's switched lenses. I still haven't switched lenses yet, but I'm about to. And anyway, we're still working on this thing. We're about to lose the blue hour though. Sunset has come and gone, and the blue hour is about to go bye-bye.
Okay, so this is Heather's blue hour shot, and she used a 62mm focal length on this one. And you can see, similar to the marquee sign, there's holes in these sections of the wreath, and the light shines through them and makes words in the shadows on other parts of the wreath. Very cool. And this is my blue hour shot. This is from a different angle as Heather's shot, where you can see all 5 pillars well. This shot is just okay. I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's, you know, Heather's shot's in this video, and it's fantastic.
Well, this is a really beautiful memorial here. I wish everyone who died in the way that these men did had a memorial this nice. This looks like a kind of like a small scale version of something that you'd see in Washington, D.C. But I'm sure everyone they know and everyone in their family and everyone that doesn't know them would rather this memorial wasn't here. And we only mean to honor them by photographing this memorial. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.